Lile lamba tuji so samba ule babulele lejeso muluki bulu kamba basang baba balele jeso utaro o kabuluka le faba monyatsang o balitile ulitile baba sukuluha balikeng katata le kabunolo o taitsarela baba dumela bulu kamba baswang baba balele jeso utsaru utabuluka mo iluya mutu yo uraelwa ufikile sesikabuluka bangwa kalurato lipilunomi batabuyela basukhakate bulukamba basang baba balele jeso utaro utabuluka Lukamba basang kolutsanezi morena o taluna nunufo vile esisani kabuisoko baren luri muluki usule bulu kamba basa baba balele jeso utaro utabuluka.
Lead us in a word of prayer.
Are tswatse o di maro na ra go le boga khosi a le bopo re le bogala borena jwa gago le puso ya gago mmoloki e tletseng boammaruri bopelo tlhomogi lorato kagiso le tshireletso re le bogala go bore santse re mehano morana re itekanetse ka ntlha lorato la gago re le bogala di session tsotlhetsentseng di heta morena mme re le bogala gore re tsena mo go ingwe khosi a le bopo re ntse re kopa tsetello pele ya gago hela bokgoni jwa gago hela mmoloki tshireletso ya gago khosi a le bopo pabalelo ya gago morena le go re goga ha o sa re goge ga gona o ka re gogang khosi go re gogela hata se ga gago go kgona wena ga gona motho o ka go kgonang go nna hata se ga dinao tsa gago re tshegediwa kwa yena khosi a le bopo re kopa gore ja ka re le hano jana mo le helole le ko dikolong tsa rona kwa o sireletse gotlhe ka baengele ba gago le o ne tiro e o e goge o isireletse o e babalele batlanka ba gago ba tla bua morena ha o sa baneele melomo ga ba ka ke ba kgona go bua ha o sa baneele mahoko a tshwanetseng ga ba ka ke ba bua a tshwanetseng mme ha o ba neela mahoko a tshwanetseng ba tla go galaletsa leina la gago le tla tlotlwa tiro ya gago e tla tlotlwa batho ba tla e tswela pelo re mo tirong ya ditlhopho kgosi ha re le mo tirong ya ditlhopho yana e tshireletse moloko wa rona e se ka tshwana le ya lehatshe ditlhopho tsa lehatshe go a lowa go supanwa ka menwana a batho ba lebele ditlhopho mo ditlhophong tsa modimo tse go sa loweng gore go bonwe gore ntsana a ditlhopho di motlhogo di ka tsamaiswa ka tsela e ntseng jang mme ra re itlotle kgosi a le bopo o itshireletse o ipabalele ka ntlha ya thata nonogo ya phenyo ka madi a ga Jesu Kriste morena le mmoloki re a rapela amen
Amen. Amen. Thank you for the prayer. We are moving into another session. And before I get into that session, I'm going to I'm going to ask these two sisters to stand up. Please, may you stand up, sisters. Have you seen these sisters? Oh. Are you able to see them from where you are? So what do you want them to do? They are saying you come and stand somewhere here and face them? Yeah. No, you face that way. Okay. Oh, even here is okay. Okay, now you are able to see them. After you have seen them like that, I'm going to ask them to go and sit down and make a statement or two, and then we move on. Sisters, may you just go to your seat. Now, I stand here to let you know that when we were planning for the session, we went to a few places and they were promising. When we came to these sisters, we met them for the first time, but that first time spoke quite a lot. The accommodation where those of you are staying here sleep, it's in a range of 1,350. But they wanted to give the place to us for 900 pula, which is almost kind of, for most of the hotels around Gaborone. But we told them that us, we go for what we have. And the question was, how much do you have? And we told them, and this is after a very quick thinking. But you know, quick thinkings are very dangerous. Don't make decisions based on quick thinking. So I don't know whether it's a gift or it's myself or man, but one of us said, we only have 600 pula. And they said, that's the money. Give us 600 pula. Since that time, I've been saying, why did we move quick to say 600? If we started with 350, that was going to be the figure. And you can imagine how much we could have saved for the church. Those of you who like to make decisions too quickly, please stop. Now, these sisters, they came back to say to us, since this hotel started, they have never charged anything like that. They remained asking themselves so many questions. How did we agree to 600? And recently I told them it's not about you. It's about God. And since then we have been working so well with them. Very accommodative. We have visited them here. Sisters, our visit to you, it's beyond what you see us doing. We have a bigger agenda, and one day you will find the truth when you are in the water grave. Okay, that's for another day. They have also visited us. So, because they are going to knock off when the program is on, and tomorrow maybe when they come, we may not be here. I thought it is very important for us to invite them, number one, to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for accommodating us. You know, I'll tell you something. You look like Adventist. Yes. She's saying UCCSA. No. Do you know that UCCSA, they are Adventists in heart. It's only they worship elsewhere, but in heart they are Adventists. That's for another day. So we wanted to say thank you. And I wanted to ask a very genuine question. You have been here since Sunday, some from Friday, and you have been here. What do you think about this place in terms of where you are sleeping, in terms of the hall, the food you are eating? Is it a place that you can recommend to someone and say, if you are looking for a place for meetings, probably you need to consider Travel Lodge? Is there somebody? Is there somebody? All of you are saying so? Now what we are going to do, we will give you their contact details, value for your money. So you go and market this place for them. When your daughter is getting married, tell your daughter that if the wedding is not going to be in Travel Lodge, me, I'm not going to be part of that wedding. You see, I see Kebaswere is saying, let him say something.
Well, for me and my wife, and most people here, this is our second coming, because our son, his wedding was held here. This hall and that other hall. The whole thing, he took the whole thing. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, sisters, you have gotten the feedback. We appreciate the place. We appreciate all the facilities and everything. Later on, we are going to pass these just to fill them in as a feedback to the management and these sisters, where to improve, so that they can see where to adjust and where they accommodate. Having said that, sisters, when this is done, I'll make sure, oh, you have also cards. You can put them together here. Once everything is done, we will give them those forms as a feedback. Now, Gift come. I'm going to allow Gift to say also something as we move faster towards what I'm going to ask someone to do at the end. Moruti Kumalo, I will be asking you to come forward and pray for these God's children. And as you come, I'm going to make a statement that I mean, and I mean it serious.
Thank you, Muruti. I want to say that we have had a very good working relationship with these ladies. And on top of what they have done for us, they are putting icing on the cake. They are going to give us a gratis transport for those that need to go to the buses early in the morning with a quantum. And it's only one trip, but it's 13 spaces that are available. So if you need that kind of transport, please see us. Then we can arrange that. You can get that assistance. Then you can meet your connecting transport tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Muruti. Muruti, if you could come and pray for these sisters. Sisters, come closer here. Muruti is coming to pray for you. Yeah, if I say what I could have said, they are shy, so I need to protect that. I don't want them to fall, but I'll keep that. We'll talk about it another time. Thank you so much, sisters. We will come back. We'll come back, and we very much appreciate the relationship.
Lubomang, Urating, and Queen. Okay. My maru namo walilong lekiahi. Lady manager. Oh, that's beautiful. All right. Usko rapella batu sabaiti. Ari rapeleng. Raorna urating kio le Queen kio. Batsile ho ema hapile ga bana ba gago ba batsileng mo lehilong le. Me ba ema jana ke bone ba tsamaisang ba ba laolang lehilo le. Ha re ba itse morena ke la ntlha re ba bona. Ga re itse kwa ba go tswang. Re itse gore ke ba kae. Re itse gore ba tsene sekwele go le kae. Ba tshela jang. mme modimo wa ba itse o itse ditlhoko tsa bone le dikeletso tsa bone. Ba mo lehilong le morena ba le babereki ba berekela beng ba lehilo le, mme re ne re rapela gore e re ka ba tsile mo lehilong le ra kopana le bone ka nako e. Ke mang yo o itseng morena gore go kopana ga rona le bone go ka ba tsesetsa diphetogo mo matshelong a bone masigo le matlhogonolo a ba neng ba sa sologele. Ke a ba rapella rara wa rona gore o nne le bone, o nne le bana ba bone ga bana le bone, malapa a bone, o nne le masika a bone. Re ba tlogela mo diatleng tsa modimo, mme re ntse re itse gore ba tlhokometse babereki ba bangwe mo lehilong le. Re a itse morena mo malatsing ana go bereka ditiro tse di sa tsenelang sekwele mo go kalo-kalo, go a patika, go busetsa batho ko morago, ba tshelela batho ba bangwe mme ba sa igope. Re ba lopela masego le matlhogonolo morena gore a matshelo a bone a atlege. Jaanong re tla bo re kgaogana le bone gompieno kana ka moso, o tla sala le bone, mme re santse re rapela morena gore e re nako nngwe ga re boetse ka kwano bao ba tla ba re bolelela diphetogo tse di ba diragaletseng ka ntlha ya merapelo ya mohutao. Re lopa jalo ka tumelo mo leineng la ga Jesu morena. Amen.
For the prayers, and thank you, sisters. Mom Binda, come and walk them out. Amen. 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 Sister, you can walk them out. Thank you so much. Now we are moving to the next section of the program. In the program there are 3 committees that are supposed to be put in place. And we could do those now, but we have decided that the 2 of them will be done later, but we are going to start with one, the Plans and the Resolution Committee, or meeting. What do you call it? It's a committee, Plans and Resolution Committee. In this committee, this is where the planning of the activities of the church is done. This is the place where goals are set. This is where dreams are dreamed. Is that the English? I don't know what you call that. Something like that. This is where people dream. This is where people come up with visions. And then when those who come into the office, those ones who are being born, they are born and they're given something that this is what we want you to run with. This is what we want you to do. And when we meet here again, we want you to tell us that that which you gave us to do, this is how we have done it, this is where we have succeeded, this is where we have failed, and these are the reasons why we failed. So that together again, we replan, we refocus, and then we have a better way forward. So with that in mind, in order for us to start, we are going to choose 2 important people who are going to take over now. One, from this group here, we are going to choose a chairperson of the Plans and the Resolution Committee. The second person we are going to choose is the secretary of the same committee. We are not going to do it Morutima Posa's way. But what we are going to do is we get a name from the floor. The name is seconded. I pray that we don't take too long in discussing the name. And then we vote over the name, we get the secretary so that we can start the business of the day, because time is really against us. So with that in mind, I'm going to ask somebody to move a name or to bring a name to the floor that we are going to vote for. I know some people prefer that let's have 2, 3, 4 names and then we choose one out of that. Just bring one name, it's enough. And move another name for the secretary. Somebody, what's her name? to stand here as the chairperson of the plans and the resolutions, and then we'll be talking to the chair on what we want to see done in the next quinquennium. So you are saying I should chair this meeting? No. I have a name. Yes, Muruti. Muruti Chavare as the chairperson. Anybody seconding the name of Chavare? Or in favor say aye? No. Or in favor raise up your cards. Those who are saying we take Chavare as the chairperson of the plans and the resolution. Okay, put them down. Those against the name, there's no one. Muruti Chavare, you are taking over as the chairperson. Now let's get the name for the secretary. The name of the secretary, yes? Muruti Palapi's name. Anybody seconding Muruti Palapi? It has been seconded. All those who are in favor, put up your cards. Just show us the yellow part. No, it's a voting time. Okay, I permit. Continue. Thank you, Muruti. That's a good excuse, because at the end of this meeting, nobody is taking the plans and the resolution out of Gaborone. We are going to hand over to the incoming people those plans and the resolution. So don't worry about how far you come from, but we are looking at the people who are going to coordinate. Those who are in favor, may you put your cards up for Muruti Palapi. Okay. Put them down. Anybody against? No one against. Muruti Chavare, please come and take over and lead us. I beg your pardon? No? We'll do the report later. Yeah, we'll do the report later. So from now, I'm also going down there. I'm going now to become a civilian, because I also need to discuss. I'm also interested with what is going to be discussed, and also I've got something to contribute towards that. Muruti Chavare, take over, please. Muruti Palapi, please come. Come and, just come and occupy near here where you are with the chairperson. Okay.
Good afternoon. How are you? I want to believe that we are well fed and we are sanitized and we are ready to do the business of the day. Why don't you open the strategic document there? Look at the strategic document. It is going to be our guide. You see it and you see the objectives mostly. Look at the objectives part. I know that there is what we call KPIs, which are the key performance areas, indicators. Those are what will tell us if at all we are accomplishing what we want to accomplish. And in so doing, just like from yesterday when you heard people talk about our reporting system, that it does not deal with the KPIs. Yeah, it's just events and photos and stuff like that. So when we plan now, we'll be trying to make sure that we focus. We look at the objectives that you find on the on that strategic document, and let us discuss those and see how best we can be able to reach those goals. Let us remember that in this quinquennium, our strategy is I will go. I will go. So whatever it is that maybe we'll be looking at, saying that let Botswana Union Conference plan this way. Let us always think that how is this going to help us in I will go. For instance, You can say, let us build a school. Botswana Union must build a school. Let it be relevant to the I will go theme, because that is what we want to be doing. And always, when you suggest something, look at it as in, does it support the mission of this church, or is just there? I know there's the business side of the church, but we know and understand what the core business of the church is. And that is to make the world ready for the second coming of Jesus Christ. Not only that, but to make sure that people are saved into the kingdom. So, however we discuss, and wherever you may get ideas and all these things, let us focus on that. We're okay. Where is my strategic document? I might need it also. There are mics there on the podium, so let us make use of those mics as we continue. I'll try to maybe beam the strategic document here so that we can be able to see it better. It's a simple strategic document. I think it's just a table. Yeah, you'll notice that on one side we have got themes. Let us maybe switch off some of the lights so that they can be able to see those who might want to be looking at the screen. You can see there that we have got what we have, the themes, objectives, and then from there, these themes, we've got theme 1, theme 2, theme 3, just like that. The first one is mission, and then these are key performance indicators. Key performance indicators there are just like I said, the measurables. How are we going to know that we are meeting our objectives, isn't it? Yeah, so under mission, we say that the mission and sacrifice to revive the concept of union-wide mission and sacrifice as a way of life, not only for pastors, but for every church member. And then we've got our key performance indicators there as indicated. So under mission, is there anybody who wants to say something? Remember, there is theme 2 or objective number 2, which is outreach. So in as far as you want to talk about outreach, or the third one there being Adventist philosophy, yeah, all those 3 objectives, you can be able to speak addressing those. I hope you had a time to look at the strategic document somehow, maybe overnight or somewhere. So I don't know if you know, and you want to say something here that perhaps which would help Botswana Union better to be able to do outreach, to be able to do its mission, and also the third objective there, Adventist philosophy, which is to strengthen Seventh-day Adventist institution in upholding Adventist philosophy and mission. You can also read the key performance areas there. What we'll be really looking at when we say we are doing well, we'll be saying increased number of church members participating in both personal and public evangelistic outreach initiatives with the goal of total member involvement, TMI. Now, does anybody want to have something that want to say? Yes, Mama. Yeah.
At which point do we come in? Are you going to go through the whole thing and then we come in one point by point, or you tell us coming now just for give us direction on how we are going to do that?
All right. All this time I've been saying, does anybody want to say something? Yeah. That's what I've been saying, Ma'am. I've been saying it, go to the mic, I've been saying it, and while I was waiting for somebody to say something, I was just reading. And I said, you can speak on the first theme, which is a mission. And I said, please let us look at objective number 1, objective number 2, and objective number 3 before we go to theme 2, which is spiritual growth. Is it okay? Yeah, if you've got something, say it. I hope that the secretary will be noting those things. We have just a little bit there. That is what the strategic document is like. So we are here to beef it up, to understand it better, and to make sure that it is doable. Thank you very much, my sister.
Okay. I think I'm still on
Number 6, mic number 6.
I was saying, I think I'm still on seeking clarity. Honestly, I'm personally a little bit confused here. Because what I thought I heard Pastor Matwete saying was this was plans and resolution. And so I was thinking, and he had said something like, the things we talked about yesterday, they will come in today for discussion. Now I see a complete document here, and it seems so complete, I'm not so sure where we come in. I don't know. How do you help me to be inside this discussion? Because I'm actually very confused.
Yeah. The things that we talked about yesterday, if you remember them, they are there. When you talk about issues of the hospital, it is there. When you talk about all this, they are there in that document. There's going to be a point whereby you'll see institutions, health institutions, this, what. Then we can be able to encapsulate that one and talk about it there. Unless maybe you suggest, or the audience suggests a different route altogether, that maybe let it be freestyle, let us just choose that, okay, this time around, let's talk about Kanye Hospital. Let's talk about this, just like that. We can choose to go that way, but this one was an orderly way. I just chose that because it's an orderly way. There's somebody who has something that I want to say. Identify yourself, and then you can say your point.
My name is Kefa, and I stand here, Moruti, to say the document that you are presenting here, which is the strategic plan document 2020 to 2025, delegates, they received it, and I believe we have all read it. Therefore, one could have stood here to say, I move that we accept this document as what is going to run the church in the next 5 years. When that motion is carried, the next time we meet here, they are going to report or they are going to tell us what they did as per the strategic plan. Then we can move to talk about the other things which came from the floor yesterday and some which may come now, including the one that were raised this morning about our hospital in Mauni and everywhere. That's my contribution, Pastor.
You want to say something, Dr. Sigwa?
Yes, sir. Because I think the lost has been found quickly.
Yeah, you can say something, my sister, sure.
Okay. I think a point of disclosure, because when I look at this document, I recognize that this is part of the document from the GC that's online, if you look at the strategic document from the General Conference. And the reason why I'm saying that is I am appreciating that possibly the union is plugging us as Botswana into the rest of the world.
Yeah, that is true.
Because you see, for me, that kind of disclaimer is very important because maybe I'm very creative. I may want to change everything in this. But then before I become that creative, I have to appreciate that this document is actually the Botswana Union Conference take on the global document from the General Conference and on the SID document, which is online for anybody who may want to look at that. And I recognize some of the things that you are putting there. I just wanted to put that in context. And with that in mind, I would just like to make one comment before I make the motion, if that is allowed. On objective number 2 there, the one that you are highlighting there.
What, outreach?
There, no, yeah, that's the very one.
Mm-hmm.
Your KPI there. If you look at, wait, let me make sure that I'm looking at the right one. No, number 3. Sorry, go to number 3. Okay, to uphold Adventist institutions in philosophy. I want to suggest that health should be part of that.
To uphold, no, it says to strengthen Adventist institutions in upholding
yes,
Adventist philosophy and mission. Yes.
And then the KPI 1, it says Adventist institution increase the number of Adventist workers. Well, you said teachers, I would have put also health workers there, who are faithful to biblical principles and are appropriately endorsed. The reason I'm suggesting or recommending that we put health is because according to this report, I saw somewhere that in Kanye Hospital and College of Nursing, only 20% are Adventist. In fact, when you go to the teachers, the proportion of Adventists in the educational institution is much higher than the proportion of Adventists in the health institution. And one may imagine that's probably because our strategy is very direct and deliberate to make sure that we have the teachers who are Adventists. Maybe it is not that deliberate because it's not coming out on health. So I would like to recommend that health be one of those departments that are there. We've got ministerial, we've got education. I want to recommend we put health. And with that addition, I would actually move that we adopt it.
Okay. All right. So I hope that we understand each other from the floor there. I concur. We can put health on the third column so that we can balance things out. Is there anybody else with something that they would like to say from the theme one, the first theme 1? I can understand that when you talk about Adventist philosophy, we are saying here that when you've got an institution like Kanya College of Education, what is it called? Kanya College of Nursing, yeah. And then you have maybe more people teaching there who are non-Adventists. So it means that the Adventist philosophy then fades off. So we would like to see the Adventist philosophy there and present. So that is what we are trying to emphasize there. And we go to the next one. Dr. Mazonde?
Yeah, no, thank you very much. I think I hear what people are saying, and it makes a lot of sense. My only challenge is that usually if you put under responsibility, you put too many people, then it leaks away. I think we must have an office at the union that will take care of that, but that office can be able, when we go down, we can then have the health. I mean, it's a BUC. Yeah, thank you very much for noticing that this thing was too low. Yeah, you know, this is a BUC strategy. As a BUC strategy, I would expect that all departments look at what their cake can be. So I'm not sure I am happy with too many people appearing there.
How do you suggest, sir?
What do I suggest? That you have one office.
Hey, yeah. You are making trouble for me now. I have to say which office. Yeah, the relevant one. The one that will drive the Adventist philosophy. Next speaker, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've looked at the objectives supporting each of the three themes, but I realize that most of your objectives are double-pronged. And when you create a double-pronged objective, you are sacrificing, you run the risk of not measuring the entire objective, but just a part of. And I realize that in the range of measures that you provide for each objective, the key performance indicators for those double-pronged objectives, you are not addressing the second part of the objective. And that will underrate performance going forward.
Yeah, perhaps what mostly I'm looking forward to, thank you and I appreciate what you're saying, is that we work together to better the document, even though as we scrutinize it, or maybe we see where it like it lacks, let us admit to it so that it becomes a better thing. Our duty mostly is to make sure that we've got a working document together. Let us say I'm a document that Jano Artusane Konoho re bakanye innocent. Like when the speaker says double-pronged, how can we better that objective so that it does not become double-pronged? I hope that all of us understand that bit. Yeah, that is wisdom. Yeah. We go to the mic. This time around, We go to the mic.
Okay. I'm just saying that maybe for our appreciation, no, sometimes we may say that it's double-pronged, and we agree, but we don't know what it means or what it relates to.
Some clarity on what you said, sir?
Yeah.
Then Dr. Sikwa will come in next.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mm.
Your objective number 1 reads mission and sacrifice.
Oh, okay.
It's double-pronged.
Okay.
You should address mission, and you should tell us what this animal called sacrifice is and how you are going to achieve it.
Okay. I hope it has been clarified for you, Mr. Mpofu, that instead of saying mission and sacrifice, then we can say objective, mission. Then we can say sacrifice, so that they don't go together like that. That is what the advice from there. Right? I hope the secretary is noting those. If you disagree, go to the mic and disagree. Here we don't have things like it's a different game altogether here.
Okay.
Yeah, what I'm hoping for is that we don't spend our time on technicalities, but rather we spend our time on what we wish the church would do. The documenting of that will take care of. Yeah, we are not writing a policy. We are simply trying to say that let the church go to work. And this is how we would love the church to go to work. So, I know when it comes to technicalities, we are very good at those ones. But please, let us simplify it so that even as it trickles down to the church level, our people may be able to say, this is what the Adventist Church in Botswana is going, and this is how I'm going to participate in it. Mr. Rebalad.
Yes, no, please, Mr. Chair, I pardon my struggle here in the house. I see you have picked, I had gone to pick my thing where I write.
Yes.
So I'm trying to follow up exactly what we are doing that really correlate, that goes along with the idea of plans and resolution from this. I'm really trying to have an understanding of that, but I'm kind of like stuck. Because what I would be expecting for in terms of plans and resolution, because what I'm hearing now is as if you are saying this house now must deal with the strategic document from your office. I'm wondering if this is exactly what we should be doing, or this committee here, or rather this house here, should be saying for the next quinquennium, these are the activities we expect to see. And then we go back to your document to say where these expectations that we are bringing up here from this house, where do they fill in the document? And I'm failing to pick that quickly. Sorry, please.
Now, you understand that what you are asking us to do is to say a lot of things, and then after we've said a lot of things, we say, where does this fit in the strategy? No. Okay.
Can you use the mic so that the people can benefit as well?
Yes, no, I'm not saying we should say many things.
Okay.
Because literally, when you say a lot of things, finally you confuse yourself. That's why I expect that this house should come up with maybe 2 or 3 items, major items, that we can, at the end of 5 years, we can gauge ourselves and say, those 3 major items, we had put them in the strategic document, and here is how we have accomplished them. Now, the manner in which we are discussing whatever we are discussing now, I don't see it taking that path or that route for us. And that makes me a bit concerned.
Yeah, you are the secretary now. Let me say this, what is going to happen. When he was absent, we talked about this. Actually, we talked about it. So, and I asked, is there another way that you'd like us to go by? Nobody said to let us go about another way. You see that?
No, Mr. Chairman, you are on course. This is a strategic document that you are proposing, to guide the union conference for the next 5 years, starting 2020. Now, members are at liberty to add to it if they think this document is deficient in any way. In fact, I do not see any better organized way than going through a strategic document. Otherwise, we will not get anywhere.
Murti, can I make a statement as well?
Yeah, Current Dr. Sikwe has been waiting to speak. Maybe she will add, she will clarify a lot of things.
Yes, Dr. Mazonde has said it well. I wanted to add that, we are a union under the division, which is under the General Conference. So we are a small part of a bigger body. And what is presented here is a General Conference strategic plan document, which was adopted at the divisions for implementation, which was passed on to the unions for adoption and implementation, which was passed to the lower entities. So as much as we may want to add or subtract, we need to understand that we have also those who have gone ahead of us, as I was talking about. Now, my thinking, I may be wrong as well, because you see, we learn day by day. Always we receive new light. That's why I said that this document that we are presented here, largely it was going to serve for our appreciation. To look at it to say, Botswana Union Conference has a strategic document. We have looked at it, we are in agreement with it, and this is what is going to empower them to do the mission. On top of this, we are also adding 1, 2, 3, which may not necessarily be reflected. If they are reflected, well and good. If they are not, then they become part of the strategy or the plans for the church. Lastly, I want to say that you see there are also other items which are administrative, which may not appear on the strategic document. I'm going to give an example. Kanye Adventist Hospital. It has got so many issues surrounding it. And I was thinking that this is the right forum where we could have been told more about the Kanye, what the challenges are there. And then we talk about what can be done so that we have a hospital that represents the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and thus that keeps the values and the identity of the church.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I would stand corrected if I'm out of line. My thinking is that sometimes when you get some document and you don't have a full background, you can spend a lot of time going left and right and going all over the place. Perhaps what could have benefited us, although maybe we are getting the information as it pops in, it's being given the very background of the strategic document to say, as the president, our current president has just said now, that this is where it comes from. For example, this document comes with themes. This document is a strategic document that supports the I Will Go initiative that we talked about. When we look at your 3 themes that you have given now, the theme of leadership, mission, and the like, to me who works at an institution, it may look like it doesn't talk to me. But if I am given a full background and the themes are unpacked somewhat, I would then begin to see how I fit inside. So I don't know how we help ourselves get back on the road so that we are together. These booklets we were given here just before we came into this meeting. Somebody who is not familiar with the processes and procedures in the church, who just came as a delegate, has just seen this document for the first time coming here. It doesn't speak to them.
All right.
So can you help us
Let's.
just to get context? I personally have no problem with the document as it stands, but that's because I have had the privilege of seeing the document before.
Yeah, you understood, my sister. Let us have Pastor Kemoabe, and then from there, we can then choose the way that we wish to go. Because if there's a fire burning, and then we spend most of the time wondering how we're going to quench it, we may end up finding that the fire has devoured everything. So let us finish the planning part and then start to get to the business. Yes, my brother.
Thank you, Pastor Chair. In view of what has been said,
Yeah.
I identify very much with the previous speaker that perhaps the reason why we seem to be taking long to start off, to speak to the document, as it were, many of us, perhaps in the House, are not privy to the information. So we really need an appreciation of how the document came into being. Nonetheless, I think let's do what we think it's best for us to do within our power and capacity to do so by contributing meaningfully in a way in which I, as an individual, I'm able to. This is to say, as much as we've been arguing about models, whether we speak to the document or not, if somebody has something, let them contribute, and then those who are technocrats in strategic planning, they would know how they will fit that contribution within the framework of the strategy, as it were. Otherwise, we would make it difficult for others to contribute meaningfully. I just raise my hand to make it. That's my submission, Pastor Chair. Thank you.
Yeah, I was hoping that if you want to speak, please go to the mic. Raising your hand may not help. Just go to the mic and stand there so that we know you are next in line. Now, brothers and sisters, the suggestion that I came up with is not cast in stone, or what do they say? We are the ones who can be able to suggest a better way forward. What our duty here as the Plans and Resolutions Committee is to make sure that we make plans for the next 5 years. And the way we suggested that, okay, fine, let us use the strategic document as a guide so that we can be able to know what this is where the church wants to be, especially the world church, the division, and even the union. And this is going to cascade, if it has not already cascaded, to the conferences and even to the churches. So if that kind of, that mode is not the one that we are supposed to be following, or then we suggest that, okay, fine, let us do freestyle. Like here, you stand up, you say, like Pastor Kenapkema was saying, we stand up and then you say, let's talk about the union building. I think you should construct that thing and do A, B, C, D, E. And then we dwell on that, and then we say, now, what else can we talk about? What about this? And then we talk about that. You see? And then I'm saying, that way, when we speak like that, it is not like structured. Yeah, even though there's going to be post-structuring after it. This was just one way of doing it. And then Kelonar.
Thank you, Mudula Still. Right, so somebody earlier on at that mic was saying that they can identify with the objectives on the strategic plan because apparently they seem to have been taken as they are in the GC strategic, from the GC strategic plan. And my understanding is that the GC is at a very high level and we are 2 levels down the line. And so we need to cascade, move away from the GC main objectives and develop our own objectives, looking at our own environment and our priorities, and develop a comprehensive strategic plan based on our main priorities. I mean, if you look at the strategic plan, for instance, I don't know what you are going to do when you begin the implementation, because this strategic plan does not even tell you what to do to implement it. We need to do a thorough job here, develop baselines, tell us what the baselines are, what the targets are, and when are you planning to reach those targets. And this strategic plan is silent on that. And the reason for that, I suspect it's because We have just adopted very high-level objectives from the GC strategic plan without doing the cascading to our level. We need to cascade this to the 2 conferences, for instance. And we are going to have a challenge cascading it, because when we cascade it from union level to conference level, we need to tell the conferences, here are our targets, and you are our operations. So you need to help us achieve these targets. Thank you.
Understood, sir. Dr. Steve, after you, we make a ruling as to how we proceed, because now we need to proceed.
Okay.
My brother.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I want us to combine what you have been saying and what he said. Basically, all the ideas fall under your model and his model. And basically, we can combine the 2 and move forward. The first thing is that, truly, like the last speaker have said, this is a high-level document. In fact, this document should only give us an idea of what should happen. And then, for instance, like if you look at objective number 1, under objective number 1, what is it that the organization intends to do? And then we brainstorm, or we probably have got ideas. We then suggest what can be done, so that when you go back to the office, where you are now going to come up with cascade, like my brother has said, cascading this down to the entities, and even operationalizing this strategy, you now know that this is what the church wants to see. So based on that, yes, let's look at that. At objective number 1, this is what we achieve. But under these objectives, what is it that can be done? Brainstorming from here. Otherwise, discussing the strategy, we can't do that in a high-level strategy like this one. So that's my proposal, that yes, we use your idea, we use this as a guide, but we also go the freestyle, again using your weight, your expression. Meaning, under this objective, this is what we can do. Thank you.
I was thinking that I was going to make a ruling now so that we can move forward. You are making the ruling for us. Please do.
No, not yet.
I meant okay. Dr. Freya. So
Okay, just an additional. Okay, I really appreciate the presence of this document, because this is the Plans and Resolutions Committee. Now, it's good that we already have a document that can serve as a guide for us, now for all the delegates, on how to really contribute for the strategic plan. So for, let's say, yes, this mission. Now, I just would like, just an example, for this mission, I would like to add for health ministries, and that has been the issue that has been discussed since this morning, that I would like to add that if we can have an increased presence of Adventist institutions in several areas of the country by establishing health institutions. So probably this will come in now, the issue of restoring Ma'un and actually establishing other clinics or health institutions in other countries. So that would serve, this is now actually serving as a guide. Now the delegates can now try to put in their, put their inputs, okay, for mission, in what ways or what activities that the church must do in the next 5 years in order for us to accomplish the mission of BUC or the church that is actually related to I Will Go. So in different areas of our work. So health ministries, the youth, for personal ministries, family ministries, and the children's ministries, and other aspects. Thank you.
All right, now, here's the ruling. This what is going to... Yeah, but we understand we need to move on, I guess.
Yes, I just want to say that we had advisories 2020 already, and the departments at SID has taken this plan and has adapted it for each department. And like for children's ministries, we have one with key performance indicators where these things have been adapted down for that department. And I'm sure it's like that for the other departments. So we have a strategic plan that has already been rolled down to the conferences, directors for rolling down to the churches. So they are already working and running with this. I don't know how it is with other departments.
Yeah, that point is taken. Now, let us move forward. I've said that if the fire is burning and you spend most of your time deciding which kind of a hydrant you are going to be using, you might end up not even killing the snake. Here is the thing. Let us talk, but have the strategic document of the church in the back of our mind. Document or our strategic document here. But I want to say that as you have looked at it, there may be something in it there that you want to beef up. Please, then let us speak to it and see how we do it. The secretary need to write the resolutions that we make pertaining to what we have discussed here. If we have discussed it, we didn't make a resolution to the resolutions. That is what I'm saying. So, and I said, if you want to speak, go to the mic. Just stand up and go to any of the mics and start speaking. We are no longer talking or discussing which mode we are going to use. Please.
Yes.
I said, let's get to the business and say what you feel should be discussed or how you'd want things to run out. That is what I'm looking for.
Good. Mr. Chair, I plead that we all, the whole House, to say let's make an agreed point that as Plans and Resolution Committee, we are resolving that in the next quinquennium, the health ministries, whatever, should have. Point number 2, Mr. Chair. Now, okay, fine. About this one, if that thing is, you might be having an idea. So it's a document. So basically, I'm saying let's not leave the proposal by Dr. Frias. Yeah, please, let's not go back again. My next point was that this House must also discuss and resolve an item of, what is this thing where the conference, what do you call this thing where the conference, the union, feathered.
What do we do? When somebody suggests something, do we stop and then from there we...
One after the other, 1 point.
Like he has made a point that we mandate the executive committee, which is...
Advice was, the document as it is came to the conference as a suggestion, coming up with for that to be here.
Now, I thought we understood each other, my brother, that we are moving forward. And Oris Komaraho, how Makauli, the Kerry Ritualese Pilijano, Takase Longorwa, Risidire, Hela Jalo, Kerem Hoja, and then Mosanalona, Mokai Can't Gigma, is Hasum Hoja Mutolo, and I Rexama.
Well, nominating committee.
I want to send. Eh, Lonavalo Comarahunta, the Kuluna. You, my brother.
Following a report that we received from, since 1975, things have not been okay. To a point that our own identity at the Kanye Adventist Hospital is threatened. Our own values are also threatened. I stand here to say that from what we have seen in the reports, it is not doing well.
You move that the incoming leadership has a strategy in place of, there's no one at the mic. Are we done? No, I said go to the mic. Oh, because you are holding a mic, sorry, sir. Hey, can you are still my boss? Sorry, my brother. Hey, here it is. develop land as a church, be it at union level, be it what. The Botswana Union Conference should pursue.
Or in children, or in armor, or...
make the statement, that's it. Hence, out of these observations, this is what I suggest and move.
This is where I'm coming.
Yes, please get to that.
After I've seen this thing, my suggestion is that let's come up with, I don't know the right word, sort of like a guide to say this quarter, measurable implementation of the themes from number one objective up to the last objective.
Mr. Chairman.
Should look into synchronizing the activities or the key performance areas or indicators or all those things so that our objectives are met in a structured manner. That is what I understood you to be saying.
I'd like to move that.
All these people who have been talking, whatever they have been saying is budget.
It means budget.
Somebody has been saying all these things. Now,
I understand. Certain office implementation.
Oh,
That was my understanding. Okay. I realize mandate employment.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Already the budget
let's not talk to each other. This is the thing that we are going to do.
Okay.
Yeah, we are not yet discussing the motions.
Yes.
We are making the motions.
Yes.
Are we clear on that one? So,
yes.
Please, it has been seconded. Let us write it down.
Thank you.
Now, if we get a chance of now discussing assignment.
Office. Put it as office. We will discuss what office means. It could be a role, it could be a person, but just that. Strategy focus or strategy implementation office.
The next one?
Yeah. The next one, I want to put up that we, in this quinquennium, deliberately starts to set up creches, preschools in our churches.
In receiving the information from the conferences, this struck me a lot. To me, this was the most urgent thing that this house needed to know and to consider. Yeah. On page 6, someone mentioned the media, the young people media emphasis. Yeah, I mean, as we face the new quinquennium, membership is and outreach is one.
I've noted you, sir, and then my sister there at the back. Let us remember that we are going to go in that order. And then my sister there at the back.
Now I was and health, so that we retain our number of people we send outside the country for training as ministers. Is it not time we can diversify the range of programs we are offering there to introduce theology?
Before you move, maybe let me just make it clear that that one is already.
With the government, they have given us a go-ahead. They don't have any problem with us. So far, we have done 2 curriculums. The what do you call BQA? And that qualification authority.
And I have to relinquish my duty for a small time. What do? I hand over to the secretary. Huh? Yeah, when
when he comes, he will take over. Oh, it's the sister at the back. Okay, thank you. Please get close to the mic so that we can hear you.
From my local church suffered a lot because there was a lockdown and people were not able to fend for their families, and they were in terrible situations. I'm wondering if it's possible that we may have set up that may then take care of members in such unfortunate.
Oh, next is you. Okay, that's fine.
That are lying down, not making money out of our own funds. We are also keeping a lot of, working capital that is not generating anything for us.
Dangerous. First of all, those houses must, pastors, our workers, don't have to be carrying furniture thousands of kilometers, away, and provide them with reasonable transport, official transport, So I move, Mr. Chairman, that in the first 5 years, this must be one of our top priorities.
Thank you.